All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome in and welcome back. Hopefully you all are doing well today. So we're going to take a look and see what is coming through for your mid-week energy check-in. So as always, take what resonates, leave what does not. I welcome in your spirit guides to talk to my spirit guides. Cosmo is currently over here in this corner, so if you see him, he's wound for sound today. But we are at the tail end of this full moon energy. Thank goodness. I know that it was a very rough energy. I know that some people moved. I was kind of ahead of that jump. I know some people are transforming themselves. I know that there was just a bunch of changes within our personal lives. So now that that is on a wind down, let's see where we're going. Let's see what wants to come through. Underneath, we have chaos and conflict. Okay. Yang. I saw that while I was shuffling. Okay. Loyal heart. So while we're going through these transitions, we hit a point where the old us and the new us start to conflict, right? There's a lot of, who I am and who I want to be sort of energy happening. And at the end of the day, all we want is for our lives to work out in the best way possible, right? And so that's why I feel as though we're getting this loyal heart, chaos, and conflict in Yang. Because the Yang was the physical work that we were doing, that transformative energy, putting in the steps, going through, the plan, so to speak. Some of us, there was no plan. We were just thrown hot in the pan. But we started doing that, and then the chaos and conflict started. Because it wasn't what we were expecting, right? It wasn't what, we would have wanted for ourselves. And when I say that, what I mean is that the projection and where we thought we were going may not have lined up with, what it is that where we wanted to go. So, maybe you were looking for a new house, and the house that you wanted, was on the market, and then all of a sudden, it wasn't, right? And so then you ended up, but then another house opened up, and so, yes, you found a house, but it wasn't what you originally had planned. And this is just the example. I mean, it can go across with relationships, with friends, with you. Recently, these past few weeks, I have noticed that the cards are talking to me a little bit less. Not that I'm going to give up the cards. Ugh. It's allergy season. So sorry. Not that I'm going to give up the cards, but people's energies and different touches of those things, like if I were to walk up and shake somebody's hand, like I can feel, the surface level of what's going on in their life. And the more that I'm in their energy, the more that I can see these different flashes of different things. And it's definitely new, but it's not something that I had expected from, me, my intuition, my spirit guides, even though I'm an energy person. Figure that out. So it's kind of got that type of energy to it, maybe things are turning out not what you expected them to be. Now, it's not always a bad thing, but it does kind of go against the grain of, we were working towards something, and you're like, okay, it kind of feels like we're settling for second best, but it's not really that. It's the universe's plan playing out in a way, like going back to the house analogy. This house is sold, and then you got this house. Well, come to find out, that first house had a plethora of problems that you were unaware of. So don't think that the universe is working against you, right? The universe is never working against you. In fact, it's working with you. It's just your vibration and your perception of the problem, right? Like with me. You know, when it comes to the energy thing, you know, I like my bubble. I like my space. I've got a few different things on me, like this, for instance, and I have a ring here, and then I also have this here, like, and I have a quartz in my pocket. Like, I'm all about protecting my energy. And now my spirit team and spirit guides are like, hey, it's time for you to kind of step out of that bubble, you know, periodically to touch base with other people's energies. And it's kind of odd, not what I was expecting, but, you know, it's something that as we move forward, I'm going to learn to embrace. Does that make sense? Okay, let's see what else the cards have to say. Underneath, we have the wildling. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Past energy, we have the sovereign. Those are two entirely different energies. Future energy is the revolutionary. So, these are two entirely different energies. The sovereign and the wildling. The sovereign is kind of like the royalty, kind of by the book. You know, you have your crown, you have these expectations. And I love how it showed up under Yang. You know, you were trying to stick to the paved path that you had planned, right? And now, here we are with the chaos and conflict and wildling. Oh God. I'm seeing Cinderella 2 go through my mind. I'm seeing Aladdin go through my mind. But really, you know, think of, you know, people who are by the book. And, you know, they're doing things, you know, by the book, nose to the grindstone. You know, they follow the rules and expectations. And now the universe is kind of telling you need to kind of break those rules. You need to step out of the sovereign energy into the wildling energy. And that can be kind of weird for some people. You know, where are the boundaries? Where are, you know, the expectations of us? It's almost like the adult person, you know, who grew up and didn't really have a childhood. Well, now that they're adult, they can finally go back and do the kid things, right? But it's weird for them because, you know, first off, they never got that opportunity. They're an adult now, which means, you know, society is like, hey, you're an adult, why don't you act like one? It's kind of got that energy. And we have with the loyal heart, we have the revolutionary. And, you know, I feel like this is going to help bust you open, kind of help you break through, you know, the boundaries in which you have set for yourself. And it could very well be from when you were younger, you know, of course. It could very well be from when you were younger. You know, maybe somebody told you as an oldest child, you know, your job is not to have fun, your job is to help me with your other siblings. Or, you know, the academic. Your job is to not go to parties and not socialize. Your job is to, you know, keep your nose in a book and get straight A's. Your job is to, you know, the worker. Your job is to help us, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Supply. It's not supply. You know, help with the family instead of, you know, going out and having a childhood. You know, that's what this energy feels like for me. And I feel like that's why some of these rules and things have been grounded and ingrained in us. Two more. So that's why I feel like there's a lot of chaos and conflict happening right now. Because again, the expectation of where we thought we were going, that's not what it looks like. And this is the tail end of that energy. All right, let's see where we're going. Let's see what wants to come through. This placemat keeps moving. Underneath, we have the Knight of Wands. Strength. Yep. Justice and the Tower. Again, this... Oh, and there's Judgment with the Nine of Pentacles and the World. You know, passion is trying to come in. And I feel like there's definitely some hesitation. You know, you can only do so much walking a line. Hey, you. Hey, you. Why do you do that right at my feet? Why'd you go do that right at my feet? Why do you gotta do that right at my feet? Why don't you give me this? Give me this. Take that over there. He's gonna bring it back. It's fine. But you know, I feel like not only is this breaking your social norms, I don't think that helped. Hold that thought. He doesn't usually get to take his bones outside, but it's outside. But not only is this breaking your social norms, I feel like this is inspiring you. You know, you've lived your life a specific way for a while, you know, and kind of going back to the tarot thing, you know, I've done this for how long? And now the universe has come knocking and it's like, hey, it's time to switch this up just a little bit. That's what I feel like is happening with you guys, even though you've walked this line. You know, I have seen the Libra energy of justice, this whole balancing act, for a good week now, week and a half. You know, it started to creep in last week. But now that it's here, you know, I see why it's here. But the universe is trying to come in and essentially bring you new things. Because I don't think that you were getting this fulfillment out of your life. That is what this boils down to, is the fulfillment of your life. And I don't think you were getting this in what it is that you were doing. And it's, oh God, now I'm seeing, oh God, this, my age is going to show here. I'm seeing, and for some of you who don't know this, I do apologize. I'm seeing Fairly Odd Parents, where everyone is the same. Timmy Turner wishes for everybody to be the same, and they turn into blobs. And then you start to realize that if everybody was the same, you know, life would be boring. And that's, again, there's so many different facets to this because everyone is different. But the point of this is to come in and to shake things up. To shake things up, to kind of get you out of that 3D and to step into the 5D. My ears are ringing with that one. To get you out of the 3D and into a 5D experience, or to have you balance both. Six of Pentacles. King of Pentacles. Next step. Two of Cups. Okay. Grounding this energy is the Sun. Guiding this energy is the Nine of Wands. Past energy is the Page of Wands. Well, 9 plus 1 is 10. 10 of Wands. Here we have the Four of Swords. Eight of Cups. Knight of Pentacles. Nine of Swords. And the outcome is the Queen of Wands. I feel like this is stressing some of you out. I do. I feel like this is stressing some of you out. Because it's not what you expected. It's not what you had planned. You know, nowhere in this plan of yours did it say that the universe is going to come in and, you know, kind of blow things apart. Well, I'm here to tell you that the universe matches vibration. And your spirit guides and you talk with, you know, the universe. And when you're not where you needed, when you are not where you need to be, that's when this tower moment comes in. I've learned this from experience. When you are not where you need to be, the tower comes in. And it's designed to unstick you from where you were and to move you to a different path. We have Judgment here and the World. This tells me that these new decisions are fixed points. Kind of like with the tarot thing that I'm currently dealing with. You know, most of my cards have fallen asleep. And for those of you who are new to this channel, when I say fallen asleep, most times when I'm around my cards, I can tell which ones are awake, which ones have a message. You know, I can kind of tell. But when they fall asleep, that means that it's not their turn. You know, they don't need to be read. I have 5, 6, 7 sets of cards downstairs. And the only one that wants to talk right now is this one. This is the only one. This is the Souls on Fire Tarot by Mary Jo Cranmore and Juliet Gilden. It's kind of an adjustment for me. And I know it's been an adjustment for you guys. And this is just one example of my life that it's throwing at me. You know, there are plenty of other examples that I could give you, but I'm not going to, especially with the personal things that are going on. But this energy is transformative. And some of you are really worried about what it's going to do to you financially. Some of you are worried that you're not good enough for it with the Six of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, that you're not good enough for what the universe is bringing in. But somewhere in your body, somewhere in you, this is what's grounding you. Your happiness, right? And sometimes we have to go the long way around. Sometimes we have to travel a long road to go a short distance, because there are lessons that we have to learn. And that's kind of what I feel like is happening here. You know, everything is all planned out. And then you hit a point where the universe is like, hey, we're going to go this way. And you're like, but where I want to go is this way. And it's like, yes, but in order for you to progress forward down this way, you know, we kind of have to take the long way around for you to learn certain things. And that's what I feel like is happening. And I feel like you are moving beyond this energy now. Or will be moving beyond this energy when you pick a new path. Or when the universe shows you the path because it's destroyed the old one. Nine of Wands. Queen of Pentacles. Knight of Swords. Four of Cups. And the Lovers. For some of you, we have a royal set here. The King and Queen of Pentacles. For some of you, it is about another person. Whether that other person tags along with you or whether this other person is encouraging you, this other person could also be bringing about the friction. They could be bringing about the friction that you are trying to avoid. But this is on your path. I mean, Eight of Cups, the World. If you are not dealing with another person and dealing with just the universal energy or dealing with yourself, you know, yourself is a compass. You are a compass guiding yourself forward. And if something doesn't feel right, then of course there's going to be a clash of those energies. If it is someone else, I feel like this person is bringing in, you know, these thoughts of different things, kind of like opposites attracting one another. Yes, you do things very differently, like my relationship. And again, I'm only using these examples because that's how it's coming through. My significant other and I are two very different people. Two very different people. He is the analytical one. He's the brain one, right? He's all up here. As for me, I'm right here. I rely on intuition. I rely on what I'm feeling. He relies on logic and reason. And we balance each other out in a variety of different ways. And there are also moments where we don't really force each other to see a different point of view, but it definitely opens up our perception and perception and perspective of how we view the world. You know, he helps me view things in a very much more grounded way. I help him view things in ways that he doesn't think of because it's not the way his brain works. And that's how we balance each other out. That's what I feel like if you were dealing with another person, that is what they're doing. They're giving you a different point of view. But I do see healing here. You know, I do feel like this person and this energy is not designed to frustrate you or to make you angry or to make you feel trapped. You know, this catalyst from 3D to 5D is meant to help get you there. But I feel like, again, this Nine of Swords is very, very, very loud. And that comes after the Knight of Pentacles. Queen of Cups. Ace of Pentacles. Six of Swords. Two of Wands. I feel like this person is kind of like me. When it falls to, if you're dealing with another person, that person is kind of like me. Or if you're dealing with yourself, I feel like there are emotions coming to the surface. Queen of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, Six of Swords, Two of Wands. I feel like there are emotions coming through here. And it's causing the 3D to shift. And it's causing you to move away from what is shifting into something more solid. But that's causing you to leave behind the things that you are accustomed to. Six of Pentacles. I feel like you guys are holding on to the 3D for dear life. And then we have the Queen of Wands as the outcome, which is theatrical. It's kind of drama. Don't get me wrong. I've gone through the drama too. I was very stressed. I mean, obviously last week, the Wednesday into Friday was not good. Even I'm not perfect. But now that I'm on the other side of this, I get it. I understand why things had to transition the way that they did. And I feel like when you come out on the other side of this, you will understand, why. Okay? That is the big thing. That's the big question right now, is why are these things happening? Eight of Wands. That communication is coming in. Five of Swords. For you to leave behind, certain people and situations and aspects to move forward into better things. Four of Wands. So you can then continue the work. And there's the Eight of Pentacles underneath. So notice how we started with Yang. That was the first card I pulled. That is Divine Masculine. And we're ending with physical work. We're ending with Divine Masculine energy, Eight of Pentacles. Again, you kind of have to go the long way around through the emotions to come back to the work in which you were doing. But I feel like when you loop back, thank you, when you loop back, when those cycles end, thank you, you'll be able to continue your work, but in a different way. I don't think it's going to throw out the entirety of certain things, but I do feel as though the work that you're going to be doing is going to be different. And that is the takeaway from this. Zodiac signs that I see. We do have Earth signs, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. We also have Leo, Libra, Aries, Scorpio, fixed signs, Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, Gemini, more Leo, Aries. One more time because that is a lot. Earth signs, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. We've got Leo, Libra, Aries, Scorpio. Fixed signs, Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius. Gemini, more Leo, Aries. And that is what I see. So thank you guys very much for joining me. Your company, as well as the company of your spirit guides, are always well appreciated. And I will see you all again later. Bye for now.